Good to see you. You gonna say some words?
I don't really have anything.
If you feel inspired.
I will.
All right. Okay, I appreciate all our members coming out, our allies. My name is Cliff Smith. I'm the business manager of the Roofers Union, Local 36 in Los Angeles. We're here in front of Los Angeles City Hall opposing the US and NATO war with Russia in the Ukraine. Local 36 held the first public action that we're aware of against the war a year ago today on March 17, 2022, demanding the end of the war in the Ukraine now. The Russian attack should stop now. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization should be dissolved, and a substantial dialogue must be held. We say no to the imperialist war, no U.S. involvement, no U.S. soldiers outside of this country's borders. Close all foreign United States and NATO military bases. Workers must and will intensify the struggle for disengagement from NATO and U.S. imperialist alliances. As workers, our interest is with workers of all nations. We support workers everywhere and will never support the owners, the capitalists of one country against the workers of another country. We will never promote workers fighting against other workers. Russia is a capitalist country. Ukraine is capitalist. The European Union, NATO, and the United States, all capitalist countries. The conflicts between these countries are capitalist conflicts for resources, for position, for markets, for strategic positions. And none of this is in the interests of the workers. We demand peace. And as workers in America, we focus our demand on the American government, the American military. In the last year, the United States has sent $46 billion of United States public money to Ukraine in military assistance. What has been accomplished? Not only is extending the war and escalating it, destroying Ukraine, but it is disrupting the world economy. Energy costs and food costs have exploded due to shortages from the war. These price increases in gasoline, heating oil, basic foods, eggs, meat, and grain undermine workers' living standards across Europe, the United States, and worldwide. Now the U.S. government is trying to bring down prices by raising interest rates to slow the economy. This also is a direct attack on worker standards. A mortgage or a credit card loan is now more expensive. Slowing the economy will kill jobs and create unemployment and bring down wages, hurting workers. Another result of the rising interest rates is that the banks who are invested into government bonds now have less value as the bond prices fall. And two of these banks just collapsed last week and were taken over by the government. Workers will pay for these bailouts and the guaranteed deposits. These are the largest bank failures since the Great Recession of 2008, and the financial panic is just beginning. But the oil companies and other corporations made record profits while they raised prices. Why is the strategy to weaken labor? Why does the government not limit corporate profits? Why not tax the rich and these companies' profits? If the United States has $46 billion extra, then why is there still not clean drinking water in Jackson, Mississippi, or in Flint, Michigan? Why are trains going off the rails spilling toxic chemicals in Ohio? Why are teachers and service workers in Los Angeles threatening to go on strike? How come roofers have to fight to get a raise doing the most dangerous work around? The United States government does not care about Ukrainian workers any more than it cares about American workers. Congressman Connor Lamb last year told the North America's Buildings Trades Unions Legislative Conference that, quote, "We are in a race in real time to make sure that Vladimir Putin is not supplying Europe with coal and oil and natural gas, but to make sure that it's us instead." So this is the motive, to protect U.S. corporate profits, not Ukrainian people or American people. When the railroad unions voted to strike last year for paid sick days, President Biden and the Democrats and the Republicans voted to make the strike illegal. The government interfered in the negotiations and imposed a contract on them that benefited the companies against the workers. Then Labor Secretary Marty Walsh quit from the Labor Department and took a multi-million-dollar position with the National Hockey League Players Association. The AFL-CIO is collaborating with the government to cheerlead this war for the capitalists. When Congressman Lamb admitted that it was all for the oil and energy companies, AFL-CIO President Liz Schuler was in the front row giving him a standing ovation. This is why Schuler and the AFL-CIO tell Local 36 that we cannot affiliate to the World Federation of Trade Unions, which stands with workers internationally against capitalism and imperialism. They told us that we can only affiliate to the International Trade Union Confederation, which split from the WFTU during the Cold War and has the government's stamp of approval. Luca Byzantini of the International Trade Union Confederation was arrested and forced to resign as the General Secretary for corruption, money laundering, and bribery. He admitted to accepting $50,000 in payoffs, the money coming from the government of Qatar, so that the AFL-CIO affiliated ITUC would stay quiet and look the other way while immigrant construction workers died building the stadiums and the facilities and the transportation systems to prepare for the World Cup. But the World Federation of Trade Unions defended the workers and exposed these corrupt labor leaders. There's a demonstration planned for tomorrow calling for peace in Ukraine. It also includes the demand US hands off of Haiti. And the Peace in Ukraine Coalition includes the People's Forum and the Answer Coalition. Last year, these groups held a People's Summit at Los Angeles Trade Tech to protest the Summit of the Americas. Local 36 was invited to be a sponsor of the People's Summit and was approved for a vendor's literature table for which we paid the fee. Local 36 had a flyer at the table in solidarity with garment workers in Haiti, attacking exploitation from Levi's Corporation and United States government interference in worker organizing in Haiti, to demand US hands off Haiti. The People's Forum and the Answer Coalition people attacked Local 36 at the People's Summit for supporting the Haitian workers. They forcibly expelled us from the People's Summit after we had been invited to sponsor, were approved for the vendors table, and had paid the fee. The People's Forum and the Answer Coalition have refused to explain this attack on a labor union for our solidarity with international workers in Haiti. We support the Coalition for Peace in Ukraine, but they must explain this unprincipled and anti-worker attack. Liberals and social democrats and professional activists are conditional allies in the fight against fascism. But we see, for instance, Congressmember Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez promoting military recruiting in Bronx high schools. And we know that when push comes to shove, the working class can only rely on itself and working class militancy and working class strategy to fight against capitalism and imperialism. Social democracy, liberal radicals, and professional activists will always flip and side with opportunism, no matter what slogans they chant. So again, Roofers Local 36, standing in front of Los Angeles City Hall to demand peace in the Ukraine. Russia must stop the attack. The United States must withdraw from NATO, must end all military assistance into this war that is only escalating and aggravating the situation. The workers in Los Angeles stand with the workers in Ukraine and with the workers in Russia. Local 36 is in solidarity with all workers, and we demand peace in Ukraine. Thank you all for coming.